Greetings everyone, welcome to day number 9. Let's go into our practice. So just as our little warm-up as we enter into standing tree meditation, we're marching. You can move the arms, move the legs. This is just, again, a lead-in to standing tree. Doesn't always have to be done this way, but I think it's an excellent shortcut to help those of you who are not familiar with standing tree meditation. Some teachers I've trained with, you show up to class and might be an extended class, like a long seminar or something, and you show up and you're standing in standing tree meditation for 1 hour. The program goes on. Some of the teachers I worked with, I stood in standing tree meditation, no joke, for 4 and 5 hours. That's a little much, I think, for most people, even myself. I think it's a little much. But we're going to do short standing tree meditation. Very, very powerful, very, very potent exercise. So subtle, but don't underestimate it. There's a lot to learn about it, a lot to know about it, and a lot to experience with standing tree meditation. Your feet act like plugs, like 2 prongs on a plug. You plug them into the ground. As you're standing there doing standing tree meditation, the energy starts moving up through your feet. For most people, it gets stuck in the ankles. Then it gets stuck in the knees, then it gets stuck in the hips. Then there's not enough energy to go to the lower dantian. We're trying to change all that, okay? That's what we're working with. In traditional Chinese medicine, it is said that mind is the commander of qi. Qi is the commander of blood. And blood and saliva are sisters. If I go further with the medicine, there's a conversation that goes like that. Okay, so our mind is what we're using with Qigong practice. We're using posture. Go ahead and stand in standing tree meditation. We're also using mind, particular symbols and things, images, holding here at the lower dantian. Now, the lower dantian, I told you earlier, is considered a battery. It's also considered a reservoir. It's another way of thinking about it. It's also technically referred to as what is called an elixir field. Now, what's interesting about that, to me, is that some Western, let's say, doctors or something, obviously not all, but some might say, oh, that is a bunch of woo-woo or something. Elixir field, what does that even mean? But when we look into the details of what it means, it's pretty interesting, because we have these things in our Western world called hormones. In other words, we refer to them as hormones. You know what these hormones are when you mix them together? They're either elixirs of life or they are elixirs of old age and death. That's what hormones essentially are. And they're getting mixed together in the body. If there was a way to create a mixture of life hormone, a cocktail that you could take, would you want to take it? I know I would. When I was 25 years old, they said my spine looked like I was 85 and I'd be crippled by the time I was 30. Well, filming this video today, I'm creeping up on my 55th birthday. Healed the spine, and now I'm working on longevity. The crickets are singing to us, the tree crickets. Inhale, exhale. You will notice, if you practice this one just long enough, okay? When the energy starts moving up through your feet, your legs, it starts filling the lower dantian. It is said in traditional Chinese medicine that the kidneys are actually the organs that control your inhalation. I could tell you a lot more about that, but I'll save it for a seminar sometime if you're interested. For now, though, understand that the lower dantian, when it starts to get enough qi, it starts to feed your kidneys. When it feeds your kidneys enough, it takes you out of fight or flight, because the kidneys are very closely associated with the adrenals. Takes you out of fight or flight, and guess what? Very simply, it allows you to get a deep breath. Let's go back to marching. So this is the exercise, okay? These first couple of exercises, you're marching for a little bit, keeps your blood moving, your circulation moving, keeps you from getting too wonky. And then you're practicing moments of this, you know? Later you can set your timer, try for 3 minutes, then try and build up to 5. If you start to get shaky, dizzy, lightheaded, nauseous, those are actually all good signs that your body is detoxing, but you just need to sit down and rest if that happens, okay? We're gonna go to this position now where we're gonna go down into a horse, whatever's comfortable for you. So your horse could be here. If you go wider, it's harder. Just try and find some degree of a horse position. Now, when we go into horse stance, for this next exercise called Wei Qi, we wanna feel like we're, on one hand, falling to the ground, relaxing, shoulders, everything falling to the ground, but we want to make the legs stronger and we want to hold ourselves up to the best of our ability. So in this first one here, this first part of this one, we go down into the honey, remember? This is the Wei Qi. We're going to draw the honey. From here, imagine like you're breaking out of the honey. You see the sun on the horizon, big sun. Exhale your breath. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, draw. Exhale here. I like to also look up, look to one side. Then the next time, look maybe to that side. Some degree of gathering around. Now, also, imagine here, big auric field. You're making your auric field big. Inhale, big auric field. If you're familiar with the kidney meridians, as the kidney meridian comes up here along outside of the navel center and travels up the body there, you can also imagine tracing those just to the outsides of the navel center. And if you have a better understanding, you could go all the way up the leg. So if you desire, check that out in your online. Where does a kidney meridian flow? And you can add that as well. Wei Qi. Now, after you do Wei Qi, I highly recommend go back the other way. Inhale, waterfall. Nice, easy SH. I highly recommend after practicing Wei Qi, even if you were to do it as an isolated exercise, follow it with waterfall. Let's finish here with standing tree meditation. Inhale, exhale. Thank you guys for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our next session.